What's up, Diva fam, and welcome back to my channel. Obviously you can tell by the title down below we're doing something a little bit different here. Something I've done in the past. I don't know if I did one recently. I know I had it on my list of things to do, and obviously we're in a new year, so if I have done it last year, my thoughts probably may have changed, but we are doing a palette tag. I did a video like this a long time ago, in which I've told you guys about, and some of you guys have actually gone digging to like some of my first videos of my very first palette tag. This actually came about because of Allie Glines. If you guys don't know who Allie Glines is here on YouTube, I don't know how you don't. She is an amazing beauty lover, just like I am, but obviously she has a way bigger following. I think she's got a little over like 900K. She's so close to hitting 1 million, so I can't wait for her to actually hit 1 million. But anyway, she posted a video today talking about like her palette tag that she did with Samantha March. They did a palette tag last year, which was part 1. She just posted a part 2 today with completely different questions. So, you know, your girl just had to like kind of, you know, jump into it. And I really wanted to obviously do this palette tag. So I have all of the different parts of it. I've got part 1 here, and I've also got part 2 here as well. So I actually kind of want to go ahead and just jump into this and talk to you guys about my different favorite palettes, or the palettes that are actually in my collection. I'm kind of sad though, because I feel like, so I did a palette declutter last year, or just a makeup collection declutter, and there are some really great palettes that I did declutter and get out of my collection that probably could have been in this one. But I got rid of them, so it's really sad to say, but we'll just use what I've got, you know? So other than that, you guys know the gist. If you like videos like this, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to go ahead and hit that notification bell down below so you don't miss a video with me, your girl Senior D, and let's just go ahead and get into this. Alright, so obviously we are at a little bit of a different angle, like I said, so I can get to my eyeshadow palette collection. I can get to it here, and then also the ones that are also in my everyday drawer and everyday stash. But yeah, so this came about from Allie Glines, so I really wanted to kind of jump into this and kind of really kind of reflect back on time, and also the palettes that are also in my collection. So if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, welcome. I would love for you guys to be a part of the hashtag DEEVFAM. If you guys want to go ahead and do that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below so you guys can subscribe to my content. And I post videos 2 to 3 times a week. I also do monthly giveaways. All my giveaways, current, if they are current, will always be linked in the description bar. So I actually have one going on right now, another one that should be coming soon, so always keep an eye out for that. I do open and international and US giveaways, so again, you're not going to want to miss it. Other than that, let's just go ahead and jump into this. If you guys are interested in the makeup that is on my face, this video is probably already up too, so just go ahead and click on my channel and you should probably be able to see it, or I can link it up here for you guys. But basically this is a full face of high-end makeup, and me trying it out, tell you guys what my thoughts are. Other than that, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first question that she asked is, what is the newest palette in your collection? And it's obviously this one right here. It just came out this year by Too Faced. It is the Too Feminine palette, I think, or I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the name of this palette is. But this one just recently came out. It has the butterflies on it. It's their spring collection by Too Faced. My sister recently just purchased it for me. So I just got this the other day because we just did our Christmas exchange. And yeah, this is what's on my eyes. So I am actually really loving this. The formula of this is really great. But can we just take a second? Like, this beautiful little embossment right here is so precious. I don't want to mess it up. But again, I really do love the pigmentation of these shadows so far. I actually have only owned like maybe 1 or 2 palettes by Too Faced in the past. And it was like those really big, thick, and chunky ones that kind of came with the little cards too in them. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll try and find an old picture of it. But yes, this is my newest palette to my collection, and I'm so excited about it. So again, if you guys want to see that review, it will be linked, obviously. Then, if we're talking about newest palette, then somewhere we have to talk about our oldest palette. And for those of you who have been a part of my channel for the longest time, you know exactly what my oldest palette is. And it is this beautiful thing right here. This is the original first naked palette that ever came out. It was the first high-end palette I ever spent my money on when I started my like beauty journey. You can see on the side, you can barely even see how it says Urban Decay. This is pretty much almost rubbed off, but you can see how much I like ran this into the filth with these like first shades over here. This is my oldest palette. I don't actually use it or reach for it just because I'm afraid to at the same time, but I do keep it for memory's sakes. And again, it is my oldest palette and it was my very first high-end purchase. So there is that. Now the next question is more or less like, what's your most expensive palette? Like, I'll spend money on a palette and I'll drop the coin. I've never really invested in like Natasha Denona unless I've gotten it out of a subscription box. I know those can be really pricey. So I guess for me, one of the most like priciest palettes I could probably think of, or like most luxurious if we're going in that era, is probably this one by Jeffree Star, just because of how ridiculous the packaging is, how expensive it was, I guess, at the same time too. I'm gonna be honest, I think I've only used this palette once, or I haven't used it at all. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've even used this palette. I think I bought it for the hype, and I don't even see a smudge in this whole thing. Isn't that just like, that's just horrible. Like, literally sometimes I buy the things for the novelty of it all. Just like how Allie Dawson buys everything that Jaclyn Hill comes out with. I used to buy everything that Jeffree Star came out with. I was obsessed. Obsessed. So, yeah, that is my most expensive and luxurious packaging when it comes to an eyeshadow palette. The next one in here talks about, so the next one is, what is your most affordable palette? So if I had to go for like affordability, I don't know if we're talking more or less of like if I got it discounted or at regular price, but I would say my most affordable palettes that I have purchased in the past obviously have to go to Profusion. These Profusion palettes are always very inexpensive. You can get them pretty much at a lot of different stores, whether it's Kroger, which is like a grocery store, Walmart. You can also purchase them online. Sometimes you can find Profusion obviously discounted, but definitely Profusion I would say is some of my like most affordable eyeshadows that actually have amazing pigmentation to them. If you guys have never tried Profusion, you definitely should. This is the Citrine Profusion palette. I got this for Walmart. It's like $6 I believe, and like the pigmentation is just beautiful. Like, look at that orange. That orange is gorgeous. So is this like gold shade as well. Like, if you guys can see that, and then let me swipe that on my hands. Like, I think the shades that they come out with and the, like I said, the pigmentation is there. Like, it's beautiful, it's affordable, goes onto your eyes seamlessly. So I do love, love, love that. Okay, moving on. Let me also grab a makeup wipe so I don't get this all over myself, because I'm notorious for getting makeup all over myself. Notorious for getting makeup all over myself. So it is what it is at this point. But I just want to make sure if I keep swatching stuff that I actually have something to wipe off with at the same time. Okay, so the next one says everyday palette. So when I think of an everyday palette, I think of something that has like a lot of neutrals in it. Something that you can kind of be versatile, where you can kind of turn it from day to night. So for that palette, I also have palettes over here, and I keep forgetting about that. That one's gonna come in here sooner rather than later. Anyways, for an everyday palette, I'm unsure about that one. That's why I'm kind of looking through my collection of like, what is a really good everyday palette that kind of has a lot to offer. I was trying to figure out, ooh, is it this one? No, it wasn't that one. Actually, you know what? Is that palette behind me, or is it this one right here? This one, I have actually really used that one a lot too. Yeah, it's definitely this one. Okay, So for an everyday palette that I have actually recently grabbed for a lot after I tried it out in my review video, it is the Makeup Revolution Soap X palette. This one just has a lot of shades in it. You've got a lot of like the neutrals and mattes that are over here, but you have a little bit of color. So if you want to switch it up from, like I said, like that night to daytime, you've got really great options in this palette. I've tried a decent amount of the shades. I definitely have tried like these 2 neutral shades right here, and then obviously these other like neutral like shimmer shades to go on the eyelid. I just really appreciate this palette, and it's actually very affordable. Again, you can find this at Ulta. If you guys are interested in watching my review of Soap X's collection, I will link it above for you as well. And I dropped that little insert thing because what I hate though sometimes is how some brands will put that insert sheet like Morphe does sometimes, and like even Makeup Revolution. I would just appreciate it if it would just be on the actual carton. I would pay the extra if it was on there, just so that we don't have to deal with this thing every single time. Because when I want to figure out the shades, I honestly want to throw these things away. But since it has the shade names on them, I don't throw them away. So it's really, really, really annoying. Okay, so moving on from everyday palette, it's asking like the next one is what is your most colorful palette? Okay, so I actually have a few different, the one option that comes to mind when I think of like the most colorful is this one recently that I got from Michaela and Glam Light's collection collab. Like this just has so many different shades in it. It's very colorful. There's not that many neutrals. This is realistically the top shade is only the one with neutrals, and this just has a lot to offer. I just recently used this again in our collab video for this month for the RBSG group. You guys will see what I've done with that. That video comes out on Wednesday, the 26th, so that might be already before this video comes out. But again, this just has so much to offer. I think it's so beautiful. And again, the purples, the greens, the pinks, orange, and you've got the neutral shades right up top. So for me, I think this is a really colorful palette. So that was my choice